Hello everyone and welcome back. It's time for the Lazer Grand Arena. We're in the quarterfinals at the moment. We have a last few still in the single elimination stage. It's still getting pretty dicey for the players we've got. The first match to kick off this weekend of LGA business is going to be a really close matchup on the seeding. It's going to be Nopekjk taking on Tebi for spot in the semis. I'm Doomsday, good morning to you, and I'm joined by iFlame. How's it going?
Oh, good morning, indeed. It's going well. We're here bright and early for this matchup, but like you said, it's going to be a good one. Not only are they close in terms of seeding, but if you look at their scores from week one, their best scores were incredibly close. Tebi with 3.35 million, best score on the pool, and Nopekjk at 3.66, incredibly close in terms of skills, but some differences in terms of skill sets. I think based on what we've seen so far, Tebi could look to take advantage of Nopekjk on some of the hard rock picks. Nopekjk has looked incredibly good on the hit-ins, but Tebi very strong on the low ARs as well, so not all of those are free picks for Nopekjk. And then Nopekjk, of course, has looked incredibly good on some of the tech picks especially, so Tebi's going to have to watch out for those, as we should be getting into pick ban any second now.
Yeah, both these two, from what I've seen of them, are very handy on some of the control maps, especially Nopekjk. That's his bread and butter, right? You get him on those control picks, you get him on those techie picks, he's a menace. Tebi's hard rock is definitely his best strength. But I think something I'm super interested with in this matchup in particular is neither of these players like DT, at all. I wonder if it's just going to be banned out outright. They're just going to have a gentleman's agreement and just not touch the speedier maps. But I'm curious to see if someone decides to dip into that.
Yeah, as you said, DT2 ban comes out from Nopekjk, and it's always very interesting because you don't actually need to be good at the map, right? You just need to be better than your opponent. So we'll have to see if either player has the confidence to say, okay, maybe I'm not usually a DT player, maybe I don't usually like the DTs, but I think I'm better than the other person at DT, so I'll pick it anyways. So far, not going to be the case. We see DT2 banned out. We'll see if Tebi wants to ban out one of the DTs as well. I could see Tebi banning out one of the more tech-focused picks as well. Something like Nelp is going to ban out that Nomad 5 Mad Piano Party instead, and that's going to be the AR8 pick. A little bit of a surprise as Tebi's been strong on the low AR so far, but going to ban out Dreaming Attraction, the Nomad 2 as well. And now we're just waiting on the second ban from Nopekjk. 3 hard rocks still open.
Yeah, they're all still open, so that's going to be pretty good for Tebi. I think it definitely telegraphs that Tebi's not too confident in the control 1v1. I don't blame him against Nopekjk. He's one of the very few players he wouldn't feel very confident on those sorts of picks, I think. But as long as the hard rocks stay open, though, that's going to give Tebi some good ammunition to pick into.
Yeah, and so it is the Nomad 2 pick for Tebi. I should correct myself. I was thinking of the double ban, but it is going to be a Nomad 2 pick. Does make a lot of sense here, I think.
Yeah, so straight into the tap-ins. I mean, it gets you warmed up right on the start, get some streams going on. 205 BPM streams, it's over 8 stars, so you're pretty high up on the mechanics at this point.
Yeah, it could lead in nicely to something like Infinity Heaven 2 if Tebi wants to pick that after. It's another one of those stream-focused picks, but that's time in the hard rock category. So, you know, a bit of a test, this one. If this goes well, then you look to pick something like the hard rock 2, and if not, maybe you try well, I guess you're not going to have the chance to find out. Hidden 2 Nomad 4, very quick picks for Nopekjk. Again, has been incredible on the tech, and then, of course, wanting to go for that low AR hidden pick.
And the Halgo Nomad 4, that does have an aura to it.
Oh, yeah.
That is some slider tech.
Yeah, I mean, just even going back to the qualifiers, right? As we do see a DT3 picked from Tebi. One of Nopekjk's best scores, I believe, was on that slider tech map and null control, getting second place overall. So very good pick there. And we do get into the second round of bans. Of course, 2 hidden maps still open. Hard Rock 3, surprising ban to me coming out from Tebi. Maybe the skill set that Tebi doesn't like, it is CS 6.5, but even then you still have CS 7.5 in the pool, not what I would have expected.
It must just be the control side of things, right? I suppose, with Grin just being full on KTG's control mapping. It is surprised. I think that would have been a bit of a toss-up between these two, but again, it's highly telegraphing. He just does not want to play control into Nopekjk.
Yeah, not wanting to risk it. Nopekjk is gonna have to ban 2 maps in a row, and we'll see if which one of those comes out. I wouldn't be surprised to see another DT ban, and there's the DT1 coming out now. And for the second ban, my best guess would be that Hard Rock 2, but we'll wait and see.
Surely Infinity Heaven has to happen. I mean, if he's going to be picking into stream maps, he's got to be going into that at some point. That Hard Rock 1, Queen is a bit more of a toss-up, I suppose. It's more on the mechanics side of things as well, in terms of the aim. But I'd be surprised if he picks that over Infinity Heaven, really.
Yeah, there's actually Nomad 1, the ban, and I think that means we're going to see Infinity Heaven played, as I would be shocked to see Tebi ban that out. And so there's still some question as to the order of the maps, but I think at this point it's almost certain we're going to see Infinity Heaven played. Tebi has quite a few options, I think. Nomad 3 could be scary, but feels like the kind of map that Tebi could put up a solid score on, so I'm not sure you need to ban it, but it's definitely an option. I'd be pretty surprised to see the DT or either the Hard Rock bans come out. So to me, it's either going to be Nomad 3 or potentially one of those remaining hiddens.
I'd love to see Shadow Castle here. It's such a spicy pick, but on Lazer, it's a bit more friendly because of the note lock not being so crazy. Number 3, so it is going to be that Nomad ult pick that's gone. Another control pick, but it does leave the hidden control open for Nope.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen Tebi be relatively comfortable on a lot of the hiddens. It's not necessarily a weakness for Tebi, just something that Nopekjk is incredibly strong on. That'd be more so the reason for the ban. And with no surprise, as you mentioned, that hidden control pick is going to be a very quick pickup for Nopekjk. And I think that's going to leave Infinity Heaven. No surprises there. First pick for Tebi. This is CS 7.5, but it is a stream-focused Hard Rock map. Should be very strong. We have one last round of bans here since the pool is bigger. And I have to think at this point it's going to be the hidden 1 banned out for Tebi. Probably the Hard Rock 1 banned out for Nopekjk, and then just coin flipping the DT at the end, as the last map left unbanned will be picked by default.
Yeah, I think that DT4 is another one that's going to be a proper toss-up between these two. And it looks like we're going to be ending it on something quite close. It could come down to that. I think looking at the lineup, though, like the maps we've got, you're starting out with that stream map, straight into the low AR. It's 2 control maps, of course. But then that DT pick, that Kremek map, is definitely speedy. What happens in that one between these two? Because, as I mentioned, speed is not really these two players' forte, so that one, I mean, if one player is super warm, that could be a huge swing in someone's favor on that map.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. I mean, Tebi, I would say, looked slightly better than Nopekjk, at least in qualifiers. Nopekjk did have one of the worst scores on the qualifiers DT2, so I think it's fair to say Tebi should have a slight edge on that, but not really known for the DT2 either. I think it's more of just a feeling like you're better than your opponent. And it's very interesting, this format, because typically you can pick a skill set and adjust accordingly. You know, if it's working, keep going with that skill set, and if it's not working, then it's time to switch it up. But you can see Tebi has invested very, very heavily into the tapping. Nomad 2, you've got DT2 and Hard Rock 2 all being tapping focused maps, so there's that risk if the tapping doesn't work out like you expect. All of a sudden things could be looking very dire, but I think the tapping should look good for Tebi, as we should get into the first pick pretty soon.
You'll definitely be hoping the warm-ups are working for Tebi. If Nopekjk's come prepared for that, it could be could get a bit spicy, but we'll soon see. We should be kicking off soon. We have our lineups locked in. It is going to be String Theocracy that's the last pick, so the Control DT will end the set.
Yeah, it could be a very fun one, and I mean, cannot understate just how close on paper these two have been so far in this tournament. And this is one of those matches that could really come down to the wire. I don't think we could have asked for a better one to start off the weekend.
Real talk, real talk. Both these two players have taken down some very, very notable names to make it here. Nopekjk taking down Zestash and intercambing to get to this spot. Not an easy run by any stretch. Tebi taking down Yolks Pie and Nick to get here. Nick1324, very strong Canadian player. So at this point, these two have been through the ringer already. Plenty more to go and plenty more await the winner of this. But these two are on great form. But we are going to be saying goodbye to one of them today.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, like you said, they beat some very strong players. We're now up against each other. Only one can survive. And as you get farther into the tournament, you're going to face tougher and tougher competition. But they've already done a very good job of making a name for themselves. And I find the map border kind of interesting as well, right? You have some kind of pretty jarring ones. You go from Shadow Castle into a CS 7.5 pick in Infinity Heaven, which could be kind of awkward transition potentially. I think these players should be ready for it, but it might take some time to adjust. We could see some uncharacteristic early misses. And here we go into the No Mod 2. This was Tebi's first pick of the match, and we'd like to see on the first pick Tebi build up a decent score lead, because Nopekjk is going to look to fire back with the next map. Here we go.
Also on Lazer, I guess for those that aren't too familiar on Lazer, the nutlock side of things is very heavily sort of nerfed, right? You can't really nutlock. It's there in a subtle way, but big chain misses on stream maps are not really a thing on Osu Lazer. So they're a lot more forgiving if you miss aim. You can get away with missing one note and recovering pretty well, and still get huge chain misses if you miss aim. These sorts of 8-star stream stuff.
Yeah, we're going to see that first chain miss coming out from Nopekjk, dropping a ton of accuracy, as well as he just finds, as you said, 4 or 5 notes on that stream, dropping some 50s as well, and already falling very quickly behind Tebi, seeing why this is such a strong first pick. And for those of you who are not familiar with the tournament, it is a cumulative score after all 7 maps are played, so the score you win by matters so much, and Tebi's off to a very strong score. It's already nearly double the score of Nopekjk and still holding a massive combo to boot, so looking really good. But able to hit that space section, Nopekjk does not, and Tebi running away with this one. This score lead could be massive after the first map, but finds the miss on the jump.
He finally drops his FC, but the accuracy, man, that's like a solid 5% above Nopekjk, and accuracy is so much more valuable on Lazer scoring. So he's only going to be climbing away, and Nopekjk continues to struggle. This is looking like a really good choice to go into right off the bat, and it bodes well for Tebi going forward with his picks. Unless he can find some warm-up.
Yeah, and we still got half the map to go. So Tebi's already built up 200,000 score lead, and I think the goal for Tebi would be to build up a similar level of advantage, another 100 to 100k towards the end of this map, and we consider that first pick a very, very big success. But does find the miss there. It's going to put the bleeding a little bit for Nopekjk, but Nopekjk did not have a good time with that last stream. It is very, very tricky, but it's going to drop the accuracy even farther. Previously at 93, now down to 88 is really brutal. 10% accuracy. Doomsday, as you mentioned, the accuracy hurts a lot more with Lazer scoring, and 10% is not going to feel good.
Nah.
Uh-oh, indeed. I think that's a good summation of this map so far.
This map is just bullying to kick things off. I mean, Nopekjk's picks coming up are very strong for him as well. Plenty of time to pull it back, but this is looking like a really good choice to open this one up. It's giving Tebi a very nice lead right off the bat, it looks like. And see, Tebi's handling these streams extremely well. Like, I didn't realize Tebi was this strong of a flow aim player. Man's gaming.
I didn't either. I didn't realize. Yeah. I mean, like you said, I don't realize how he was so cracked at tapping. Apparently. And I feel like this kind of a format really rewards the players who are really solid at kind of a very diverse set of maps and don't have certain maps that they're going to get completely blown out on, right? Because a Nopekjk could win 6 out of 7 maps, but if every map after this one is a 1,000 score difference, Tebi would win the match. Now, I don't think that's going to be the case, but just to give you an idea of the different kind of mentality you have to have in a match like this is Tebi, towards the end of this map, has built up a very decisive 300,000 score lead, and now Nopekjk is going to look to get 300,000 points back in the next pick with their own first pick.
Right off the bat though, yeah, solid 280k of lead there for Tebi. What a start for him here. The next 2 picks are Nopekjk's 2 control picks, which Tebi seems to really not want to go into with his bans. He's going to have to contend with them here. He should be pretty solid on these. He's should be capable on these. But Nopekjk is one of the scariest control players left in this tournament.
Yeah, not only one of the scariest control players, but one of the scariest reading players, as we're going into AR8 hidden. And interestingly, something Tebi did look quite good on in the qualifiers. Now, maybe with the scaling, Tebi will struggle a little bit more on this one, but I don't think low AR hidden is a bad skill set at all for Tebi, so we'll see if Nopekjk can make up that score difference, or if Tebi can hold on to this score lead through the first 2 maps. Potentially some nerves are going to be in play though.
It's a bit of a massive change in gears as well, going from pure 8-star mechanics into something like this, where you really have to be patient with these linear aim patterns in this. It is more about the linear aim and the aim control side of things here. There are some tricky rhythms, but it is more about that aim control on that low AR. So you really have to be patient with this. And it's also fairly lengthy as well. It's not a short AR8 hidden pick.
No, and also potential for lots of misses. So plenty of places to break, plenty of places to pick up big score. And these low AR maps are ones that we tend to see slightly lower accuracies on as well. You see 93 up against 78, and I do expect those to recover as we get farther into the map, but that accuracy could play a very, very big part into this one, as Nopekjk actually has already found a very early miss, but Tebi does trade it back slightly later on, and Nopekjk is just winning 30,000 points purely off of accuracy right now, as last time we saw 10% accuracy in favor of Tebi. This time it is in favor of Nopekjk, so we'll hope to see Tebi recover.
I think it was just a case of the early notes, getting used to the style. And thankfully, there is plenty of time to get used to the style in this one. Tebi's finding his footing now, his accuracy is getting up, and he's getting some nice combos together. But it gives room for Nopekjk to capitalise if he can hold his run right now.
Nopekjk does find a big miss though, and that's going to give Tebi a chance to come right back into this one. There's still a lot of map to go. I mean, you can still make up for that accuracy if you can find a big enough combo advantage, and even if you don't find a massive combo advantage, all you want is enough combo to keep the score lead close. And so, if you can keep this one within 50,000 points, now dropping to 40,000, you're going to feel really good about this one for Tebi. You don't need to win the map, you just need to keep the score close.
Combo gaming isn't quite completely dead in Lazer scoring. If you get a very major combo increase over your opponent, you can make up for a few percent of AC down. So, if Tebi can pull out a crazy combo here, the accuracy won't matter too much. You do have to have a big combo advantage, really, to make that count.
Yeah, even then, Tebi has done a phenomenal job of recovering the accuracy, as now Nopekjk finds yet another miss, and Tebi, 500 combo in the lead, has recovered the accuracy nicely, only down by 1.5%, and all of a sudden that score lead is going to go right back over to Tebi, and this is where we see Tebi is very capable of playing these low AR hidden maps, and now takes over the score lead, does find the miss, but I think has done more than enough on this map to hold on to the score lead, at least through these first 2 picks.
I mean, he's gained like from about 90% to about 95 on the axe side, so he's way back in it on that side too. And that combo was crazy from Tebi. Actually, that was a really good recovery from him. I'm gonna put Nopekjk in a pretty dicey position here because his first pick he's still gonna be quite far behind. His next one is coming up after this, but Tebi really holding his own on this as we thought he would, right? But he's held his own extremely well on this pick.
Yeah, and normally you'd say, you know, it's all good, it's 1-to-1, but in this format, it's not quite 1-to-1. Tebi's going to be ahead by 250,000 points after the first 2 maps, and the first pick is one you want to win by a lot of points on. Tebi has the next pick and is going to look to push this point lead even further, as it is, I believe, the DT pick up next.
I think it's the Nomad 4 actually next.
Oh, you're right, the Nomad 4 and the DT comes afterwards.
Yeah. Honestly, very good scores from both of those two. Like 650k on that. Those are 2 very good scores for that map. A 6 miss from Nopekjk. That thing wasn't that Grand Finals in OWC not very long ago? In the low AR?
Yeah.
We're dealing with 2 very good players here, but here comes the Halgo tech.
Yeah, I mean, Nopekjk has absolutely excelled on slider tech all tournament long. Traditionally, very well known for the aim control, but slider tech has been a huge source of advantage for Nopekjk all tournament, and looking to do the same here on Nelv. And this one, this is honestly a map where I'd probably give Nopekjk a bit more of an edge compared to the Hidden 2 that we just saw. I think Tebi is solid on tech, but Nopekjk will hopefully be able to build up a solid score lead and bring this one back.
Yeah, this seems like very much up his alley. It's very much what he's known for. But again, it's another one where all Tebi really needs to do is just don't in. Just don't in. You just need to do okay. And he can get into that next DT pick of his in a really good spot. But the thing is, the accuracy on these sorts of maps can be a scary situation, right? This crazy slider tech, and with accuracy being so much further heavily weighted, really. If you can ack these sorts of slider tech maps, and your opponent can combo them in like a score v1 setting, or a stable setting rather, it's not really going to be enough here. You need to ack it.
You do, but you know, we've seen Tebi put up solid accuracy on the first 2 picks, so hasn't shown any signs of struggling with accuracy so far. I think this could be a much trickier test of that, but we'll see if Tebi can keep up. Here is Nopekjk. It's going to get a bit of a solo start on Nell, and a pretty solid solo start, as is going to look good for at least the first 100-200 combo of this map. Accuracy looking very impressive so far, as hopefully we'll get Tebi loaded into the map shortly.
Yes, Tebi locked up. Is he frozen? I'm not sure what's going on there, but we'll see what's happening. We'll see what the ref says. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's an abort, so I guess that's a round 2 on that one. Give it a do-over.
Yeah, seems like Tebi just didn't load into the map there. Map started and Tebi did not start the map. So we're going to get attempt 2. And, you know, I think Nopekjk is going to be okay with that. Is going to get a do-over of that miss.
Those warm-up in on those little wiggles at the start.
There you go. Now let's see if this time around you can hold on to that combo through the first 200.
Drawn to this land where dark runs deeper than anywhere else. The dark watches.
packed weekend, by the way, for LGA here. Not only are we having the quarterfinals, but we're actually having the semis, finals, and grands, I believe, all this weekend. It's a packed weekend here. Oh, no, so live for the Lazer Grand Arena. It's all happening. So many matches going on, actually.
Yeah, we've got quarters and semis happening today, and tomorrow, Sunday, will be both the finals and the grand finals. I think we have one semifinals match on the Sunday, that 7 UTC match between AKNZX and the winner of the Welter versus Flying Tuna. That should be a good one.
I believe the players awaiting the winner of this one are playing pretty much straight after this one. I believe it's I think it's Miyokoko and Enri. The winner of that faces the winner of this, and that match is happening at 13 UTC, just in about 3.5 hours time. So not too long to wait to see who will be facing the winner of this one.
Yeah. And yeah, that match would happen at 15 shortly after. So we'll find out the result of this kind of portion of the bracket very quickly, as both players looking pretty solid at the very start of Nell. And we did see Nopekjk drop the combo, about 200 combo in the first time around on this map. We'll see if he can hold on this time around on the wiggle, and this time able to do so. So Nopekjk getting off to a better start, but being matched by Tebi, who's just down a tiny bit of accuracy and now does find the miss. Nopekjk gonna have a chance to build up a bit of score lead here.
The accuracy game, not too much in it there, but combo game can still be used effectively. Back drop there from Tebi though, he's down a few percent now, down to 93 against Nopekjk's 96 with that combo.
Yeah, falling behind. Oh, that's a brutal stream. But falling behind now in terms of combo and accuracy, that lead 100,000 points in favor of Nopekjk, and still holding that combo, hits the slider stream into the break, and Nopekjk is putting on a clinic here.
Yeah, Nopekjk is going crazy here, actually. This is not a long map, we're halfway through. It's only the short version of this tune. Bit of combo for Tebi through the slightly easier bit. There's the break from Nopekjk. And his accuracy is down a bit as well. He's only ahead by about 1%. Combo for Tebi.
Yeah, and unfortunately Tebi has been able to build up. The solid recovery combo does drop it there, but has kept the score lead within 150,000. That will grow a little bit towards the end of the map, as Nopekjk has recovered the combo nicely, but finding another miss. This one looks like it might sit around that 150,000 mark, barring any big accuracy drops from either player, but it's big accuracy drops from Nopekjk actually, and that score lead is going to shrink just a little bit towards the end of this map. Tebi trades those drops right back, and so I think with 150,000 after 2 Nopekjk picks and 1 Tebi pick, Tebi is going to be holding on to this lead by about 100,000 points, and Tebi with the next pick is going to be feeling really, really good.
Yeah, it's a good spot for sure. I think Tebi would have taken this going into Nopekjk's double pick, still with a decent lead. It's still precarious, man. It's still precarious, but he's still got it going into what could be a great pick for him if he's got that strong tapping edge. So at the moment, it's looking rosy here for Tebi.
Certainly is. We saw the tapping advantage on No Mod 2. We'll see if that tapping advantage remains on something a little bit faster in the DT3. And this one, I could see some very low accuracies on, potentially.
This map it's the Lazer mechanics in action, because this map is it's in DT, but it's actually not on the standard DT rate. It's a 1.2 rate. So it's not a full DT, it's just a little bit faster than the base.
No.
Which is quite nice to have.
Is this really 10.4 stars? Star rating potentially a little bit off in Lazer.
It's trying. It's trying.
It's doing its best. Can't fault it there.
Fergus break core this. Classic mapper for this Starless tune. You see him quite a lot. And the tapping is brutal. You see both players really holding on, but the advantage is clearly showing. That's a lot of accuracy Tebi has over Nopekjk.
Drawn to this land where dark runs deeper than anywhere else. The dark watches over you.
And Tebi off to a massive accuracy advantage. We see both players struggling with the accuracy somewhat, but it's Nopekjk down at 77, dropping the combo continuously as well. Is going to be down by 120,000 points with half the map to go, and Tebi looking to really push this score advantage going into map number 5, as Nopekjk is not having a good time on this one, to say the least.
13% of AC. It's going into the tapping was definitely the keys to the kingdom here for Tebi. I think it was a brilliant choice in this matchup. It might not be the favoured style, right? But it absolutely works here, and that's going to be another big advantage. It looks like for Tebi now, going into the back half of this game. You know.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. You don't need to be comfortable on the map. You just need to be more comfortable than your opponent, and so far Tebi has been, and seemingly will continue to be. That score lead is up to 250,000 points, which is absolutely massive in a tournament like this, especially if Tebi can put up decent scores on the rest of the picks. It could be poised to take this one, but it's far from over. All it takes is one map. Nopekjk is right back in this one.
Exactly, and Nopekjk still has strong picks left, but at the moment that's a big win there on that one for Tebi. 280k in his back pocket, and now he's got some insurance. Great pick. Well, great picking, I should say, into these tapping picks.
Yeah, and what I've realized is over the course of this map is that it's not actually 10 stars, just that I imagine the sheet is applying the generic DT formula to the map rather than the 1.2x formula. So it's just, imagine playing this map as like a normal 1.5 DT. It would be 10 stars, but thankfully not the case, as Shadow Castle going to be next up, and this should look good for Nopekjk. That hidden low aim, one of his best skill sets.
If there's a map that's going to have a huge swing on it, it could be something like this. Unstable, this map is a nightmare because the wiggling streams on this, you can just note lock to high heaven. You're not going to get too many of that, or too many problems with that here. But the aim control in this is really crazy, and you can still fall off and just miss a bunch simply by losing the flow. We'll see if anyone does.
Yeah, to me at least, no luck. One of the nicest changes of over stable. You don't have to worry about missing an entire pattern because you mistimed one note. Tebi is going to find the first miss of the map, but expect many more misses to come from both players, as Nopekjk is going to trade it right back, but accuracy slightly in favor of Nopekjk. I would say this is just such a great map. Absolute banger. So much fun to watch as these players are killing it. But Nopekjk finds a big drop. Tebi, it's a massive combo advantage now. Accuracy more or less evened out, only down by 1, but does trade the miss back. So it's going to keep the score close between these two players. But Nopekjk not really finding the score lead that is necessary. At this point, a win on the map is probably not good enough. You need to see a win by 100,000 plus points in order to feel happy with the pick from Nopekjk.
Tebi has just been so all-rounded on these picks. He's had a good one on pretty much anything, and Nopekjk, like I said, needed a big win on this, but that's a big ask on this sort of map, right? 97.3, Nopekjk is having a really good run, but Tebi has just been covering all of his bases today, not giving Nopekjk a window to try and get back into this one at the moment.
Yeah, and I feel like a tournament format like this really favors the all-rounders, and Tebi absolutely fits the bill, able to play such a wide variety of skill sets at such a high level, able to play the flow aim, able to play the hard rock, able to even play the DTs, as we saw with the pick, to a high enough level to keep up a solid score. And even against a really solid DT player, not going to lose too much score on those kinds of picks. And now, Nopekjk not even winning the pick. Tebi is up by 42,000 points, has the slight accuracy edge, and things are looking rough for Nopekjk.
Another two very nice scores on this, but Tebi just got the edge on this one. He just had the edge today at the moment. It's looking really grim now for Nopekjk. It's not over yet, of course, but this was one of his last picks, one of his big picks. But Tebi with another very nice score to combat him on that one.
Yeah, I mean, this was the last pick for Nopekjk. We've got one more pick from Tebi, which was that. I think it was I know it was one of the hard rocks. Don't ask me which one. I think it was the hard rock one. And then, of course, we have that kind of auto pick DT4. So it's going to be a big it's HR2. My bad. But asking Nopekjk to make up 400,000 points, especially when you have Infinity Heaven still to be played, this really high CS hard rock stream pick could be a very tall ask here, but not impossible. Certainly can't count Nopekjk out yet.
It ain't over. It ain't over until it's over. 400k is assailable. You can pull that back in 2 maps. It's gonna take a big swing, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible, but it is on Tebi's fairly favoured skill set. Nopekjk got a nice score on the qualifiers flow aim precision pick though, and that's exactly what this is. This is a bit crazier than that with very small circle size, like CS 7.8. But the precedent is there for Nopekjk to have a very high performance on this. We'll see.
Yeah. While Nopekjk not traditionally good at the hard rock itself, has shown strong performances on similar styles of map. Maybe not with circles quite this small, but at least has traditionally been very good on some of these more aim control stream focused picks. But small circles already taken a victim here, as Nopekjk will find the first and the second miss of this match.
All Tebi really needs to do now is just hold his nerve on his own pick on the precision. And he should put himself in a position to be pretty safe going into that last pick.
Yeah, but Tebi now finding a couple of misses himself will give the score lead back over to Nopekjk, and Nopekjk nailing these streams up until the space ones, which claim both players' combos. Those are very, very tricky, but Tebi finding the bigger accuracy drops with yet another miss, as Nopekjk has recovered the combo very, very nicely. Now off to a 50,000 point lead, and we could see Nopekjk making a bit of a comeback here.
Oh, that stream. That's just a mean stream to put at the end of that. Nopekjk gets the miss on it, but he's got a bit of an advantage. It's a window of opportunity. He's got a nice ack as well.
Yeah, it's really tough because Nopekjk seems to be consistently building up that slightly higher combo, but then you have those massively spaced streams that are just so brutal to hit, and we've got another one coming up shortly here. Nopekjk hits that one. Tebi finds the miss, so potentially some more leads built up by Nopekjk, but finds a chain miss, and that score lead is going to flip back over to Tebi's side, and now it is just going to be pretty even going to the end of this map. And that's unfortunately not good enough for Nopekjk.
It is looking pretty grim now for Nopekjk. Nice combat though on Tebi's last pick. But again, Tebi just had that little bit more on a lot of these picks. A good fight though from Nopekjk on that one. But now it's looking, he's going to need a miracle on this last pick now Miracles can happen. But Tebi right now, he is sitting pretty for his spot in the semis.
Yeah, I mean, I think the part of the big challenge now for Nopekjk is that, I mean, of course, winning the map by 480,000 points is a pretty big challenge in and of itself, but keep in mind, I think it's reasonable to expect Tebi can put up at least 200,000 points on this map, realistically closer to 300,000, even if he's not the most comfortable. So realistically, to find a win here, we're going to need to see a 700, 800k score from Nopekjk on this map. This is not an easy map.
I gotta be honest, I am going in a bit blind on this pick in particular. I didn't get a chance to look into this one beforehand, but I think with it being more of a control-based pick, it seems like it's going to be a close one between the two. A big swing on this would surprise me. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. But I'm going into it blind, so I'm not quite sure what to expect, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like I've played this map without DT quite a long time ago. I haven't looked at the map recently, so I could be overestimating the difficulty of the pick. But I feel like there are a lot of places that are very easy to drop accuracy on, and a lot of certain places that are very easy to miss on. Where I would be somewhat surprised to see an 800k score from either player. I think maybe 300 to 500k range, probably a bit more reasonable. But they may very well prove me wrong.
Some reassurance in chat. Some reassurance in chat. Giving each other some mojo going into this one. You know what? Fair play. You love to see that. You'll love to see that.
It's nice to see a bit of camaraderie between the players, even though they're competitors. They're still supporting each other.
Oh yeah.
And Strengtheocracy, our last map of this match, and Nopekjk is going to need to put in a lot of work to win this one, but it is mathematically possible. Not off to a good start though.
Crazier things have happened at sea. At the moment though, it's been a combo for Tebi, so that's already not the start that Nopekjk would have wanted to make the miracle happen here. Bit of lead here for Tebi, although Nopekjk does have that ACK lead, which is just as valuable.
Yeah, but Tebi already has the lead. Nopekjk would have to get a minimum of 480,000 points, assuming Tebi AFK'd the map and got 0 score. So I think it's fair to say at this point, this one is mathematically over for Tebi. And once Tebi crosses the 400k threshold, it is mathematically impossible for Nopekjk to make the comeback. And I think that will be officially it as Tebi crosses that 400k mark.
Yeah, as a combo to open this one up. He says he's not good at this map and then immediately proceeds to like FC half of it. Okay then, buddy.
Okay, needed that little bit of confidence boost from Nopekjk, and now putting up a massive score on the map.
Okay, this map actually does look bonkers. What the hell?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's far from easy.
Yeah, 1.4, not 1.5.
I'm sure there's going to be a few players that can put up, 800k scores on this, but it's not going to be many of them.
A little bit of an end flourish here, but that is going to be the flourish to Tebi's match, I think. C2 versus C13, incredibly close on paper, and it did work out to be a very tight matchup in the end. But Tebi just had that little bit more on a lot of these picks. It's going to be Tebi going through to the semi-finals of the Lazer Grand Arena.
Yep, and as you mentioned, the winner of this match will go up against the winner of Amamiya Kokoro versus Henry at 13 UTC. We've got 2 other matches at 13 UTC as well. AKNZX up against Zudinator for match number 3, as well as Welter versus Flying Tuna. And then we are kicking off the semifinals at 14 UTC, so let's stay tuned for that as well. But of course, huge congratulations to Tebi. Do you say anything you wanted to add?
Just want to give commiserations to Nopekjk, giving us a really good run and having a good run through the first ever LGA. taking down some very big opponents on the way. This is where his tournament ends, but it's been a very solid showing here. Thanks for playing. It's been great to cast you, mate.
It certainly has. Can't feel too bad about beating Intercambing in this one. That's always going to be a very impressive performance. And with that, we will be back at 13 UTC with a number of matches. So we hope to see you back there. Thank you, Trosk, for the stream. Doomsday for joining me in the commentator booth. I've been iFlame, and thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a good one, and take care.